Here's everything I made from scratch using up the vegetables I grew in my garden. This is a ham hock joint, and they're really quite difficult to get hold of, but they taste amazing. It needs to be simmered for a while in liquid, and I use that liquid as a stock. Celery is a must to go in stock, and I had loads of celery from the garden to use up. But I'll be the first to admit, I put a little bit too much celery in it, and everything I made with the stock had a slight celery twang. I would never waste a drop of my homemade stock though, and neither the skin or the fat of the ham gets wasted either. I chop it up into manageable pieces and put it out in the garden for the birds, and within seconds of me putting it out there, they were down and having a feast. Then I shred up the ham ready to use in dishes. The first dish is of course a creamy pasta. Basically any veg from the garden mixed with onion and a bit of bacon fat to fry it in. Chuck in some stock to build up the sauce, and then a load of garlic and herbs. To make it super creamy, I added cream cheese, but you could also do creme fraiche or sour cream. The shredded ham hock went in, and that was our dinner, along with some of the fried jalapenos I stuffed with cheese. I harvested this massive leek from the garden, my first one this year. You can use the whole leek all the way up to the tips of the leaves. People tend to throw the ends away because it's slightly more tough, but that's the best part to save in the freezer to make a stock with, or even a soup. For this I used up some chicken stock cubes I made back in June. The flavour is extremely concentrated, so you need to dilute it in boiling water just like you would with a shop bought stock cube. The recipe for this is linked in my bio if you want to try it, and this is my homegrown leeks and potato soup with shredded ham hock and crispy chili oil on top. I am forever trying to use up these green beans, and I had a load of sweet peppers to use up too. When you grow your own food, you often get gluts of one or two particular types of vegetables, and I really love the challenge of coming up with different ways to use them up, but also to get my kids eating them. This was a very mild coconutty curry. They'll eat green beans and peppers plain, but I've lost them the second I put a scary yellow sauce on top. The only way I could convince them to try it was with a massive dollop of yogurt on the side. The rest went into the freezer for one of those days when I can't be bothered to cook. Last but not least, I was working with this amazing brand, and they asked me to create a seasonal recipe using the pears and apples from my own garden. I spread some of my fig jam onto puff pastry to make a tart, which is such a low effort showstopper. The apples and pears went on with some blue cheese and walnuts, and I was trying so hard to be aesthetic for this video. My worm-eaten apples as placement, and my fancy chopping board, and edible flowers to make it fairy food.